Hello, this is Haven Khan. I've kind of run out of ideas on what to do. Originally, I got the idea to play my guitar for this assignment, and I don't even know if it's recording right now, but if it's recording right now, Phil, if you see me, it's working. Um, I tried to get it hooked up to my interface and this program I use called Reaper, which has all my plugins on it, and tried to record the desktop audio, and that didn't seem to work. And so I'm like, all right, I've got guitar pedals. I'll just do it analog, and I'll record myself and stream myself playing an album on YouTube. Try to get the desktop audio to work. That didn't work either. After 30 minutes, a very frustrating 30 minutes later, I just kind of gave up. And so here I am now. So what I'm going to do is just talk about how I started playing guitar, what made me want to play guitar, and the bands and the songs that kind of inspired me to start. So back, it was probably 2012, 2013, that's when I really wanted to start playing guitar, and that's when I started taking it seriously. But back before then, when I was like 9 or 10, I remember, I think, asking my dad that I wanted to play guitar because I always watched him play guitar ever since I could remember, because he's always played guitar, and I would go downstairs and watch him in the basement play, and I'd just be completely mesmerized by his playing, and I just thought it was the coolest sound ever. And so I don't actually remember going up to him. I assume I did. I don't think he just got me a guitar, which honestly he might have. I don't know. But I remember it was a black Ibanez, and it was a micro, which meant it was a smaller size. This is a full size guitar. This has 21 frets. A fret is these are frets, so there's 21 of these, and I think it only had like 18 or 16, so it probably only went to here, and like you can see how thick the neck is here. Like this neck was probably like that thick. And barely had any room for the strings. There was a short in the pickup, so it made a lot of feedback, and it just sounded like crap. But I remember I would try to play it, I wouldn't be playing songs or anything. I would just be trying to make noise on it, which I did. I figured out how to make noise because my dad didn't teach me how to play. He just gave it to me because he's old school, He's like, oh, I never learned, no one taught me how to play guitar. I didn't have anyone to go to, so I had to figure it out. Now you can figure it out, because he's old school, right? But then I remember he ended up getting this game called Guitar Hero for his birthday for the PlayStation 2. And I remember playing that with him a lot, and I was really good at it. And I'm like, wow, I'm actually better at my dad at something, And he's like, well, you should play real guitar, and then we'll see how easy it is. And as a kind of a challenge, I'm like, all right, I will. And so that was before he got me the black micro. And so then I just tried to play guitar, kind of ended it for a while because I wasn't having fun, didn't really seem to be progressing a whole lot. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to stop. And then I ended up listening to Metallica at the age of like 11 or 12 during that time where I wanted to start playing guitar, and that's the sound I heard, and I'm like, I want to play this music. And so I went to my dad saying, hey, can you teach me how to play guitar again? And so he's like, yeah, I'll teach you how to play, because I don't think I asked him originally. And so we went down to the basement, and he showed me how to play a power chord. If you don't know what a power chord is, this is what it looks like. They're the those are power chords. And I remember trying to do one for the first time, and it hurt so bad because my hands were so tiny, and I didn't have like the dexterity or the extensions in my hands that I do now after 9 years, almost 10 years of playing. And I'm like, Dad, it hurts. How do you do this? This is impossible. And you know what he said to me? He goes, if it hurts, you're doing it right. Keep it up. I don't remember how much time passed. It had to have been like a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, I don't know. But eventually, I learned how to play For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica, which was my first ever song learning on guitar, and it just goes. And I remember playing that for the first time and just being so excited that I learned my first song. And I remember showing my dad, and he was so proud of me. Obviously, it didn't sound that good at the time because I didn't know how to mute the string with my hand, so it pretty much sounded like I just let the string ring out and I didn't stop the sustain with my hand like I do now. And then I remember there was this thing at my school called Grammar Idol. It wasn't like a talent show, it was more like a class project. And the project was to take an already existing song and like rewrite the lyrics to match English definitions. Like it's kind of confusing. It's like we had to change the lyrics to like have the definitions of what adjectives were and what like adverbs were, and we had to like rhyme and everything with it. It was actually really hard, and I didn't care. I thought it was kind of stupid, but I'm like, this gives me a chance to look badass in front of my class and play guitar, and I'm gonna look so cool, and I'm gonna impress everyone. And so I met up with this kid named Titus Hazlett who was in the class. And he was like kind of a metalhead, but kind of not. But there wasn't a lot of options at my school because there wasn't a lot of metalheads. And so I was kind of desperate. And so I went up to him and I was like, hey, I have this idea. I'm going to play for Grammar Idol, and I'm going to play the guitar, and we're going to play Master of Puppets, and it's going to be amazing. Are you down? And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And so like a week went by. We wrote the lyrics to the way that our teacher wanted it to for the project. And I remember he's like, yeah, I'll look at them and I'll listen to the song over and over again so I actually know when to come in and how to time it right to the song. I'm like, great, this is awesome. I'm going to look so cool in front of everyone. I'm going to be honest, I was kind of using him just to look cool. And so I remember that day came and I brought in my guitar and my little amp on a little cart into the class. And here comes Titus wearing this long black wig. And part of me inside just kind of died looking at that. I should have known then what was about to go down. And so we get to the front of the class, our turn finally goes, we're all excited, and we had a kid holding the space bar getting ready to play our song. And so I ended up playing Master of Puppets like this. Bad. And I remember we got to the first verse when Titus was supposed to come in and he was supposed to start singing, and he just froze and started making this sound. It was like the air was escaping his body and he didn't know what to say. And I remember I'm playing it awful, and as I'm playing it in front of everyone watching, I'm like, Titus, and I'm saying this out loud. I'm like, Titus, what are you doing? You're early. Titus, you're messing up. What are you doing? And I'm just panicking. And eventually we stopped, and I looked at the teacher. I'm like, can we go again? And this is a true story. The teacher looked at me, and she went, no. Because it was that bad. She's like, no, I've heard enough. You sit back down now. And I was just so upset. I'm like, wow, my one chance of being cool in my class, and I absolutely just blew it. But hey, 9 years later, I can play Master of Puppets pretty well now. So yeah, it looks like we have just hit 10 minutes. I'm surprised that went by so fast. Phil, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, that was how I started playing guitar. Obviously, I have a much further way to go learning how to play. I've been trying to learn how to play a lot of jazz stuff lately, and right now I'm jamming with a few people, and hopefully that takes off. And I'm really excited for the future and how I can grow as a musician. So thanks for tuning in.